xa, ai vẫn hát vang lời Việt Nam. Nhìn về đại dương, ta nhớ hương quê nhà ở đó.
The Vietnam War, one of the most important international events of the 20th century, dislocated over 20 million Vietnamese out of their homes, killed over 58,000 American soldiers, and sacrificed over 1 million North and South Vietnamese Army soldiers, and killed over 2 million civilians. April 30th, 1975 was an end of an era, an end to the Republic of Vietnam and the birth date of the Vietnamese American community in the United States. When Saigon fell, over 200,000 refugees fled Vietnam. In the months and years after, hundreds of thousands of Vietnamese, known as boat people, crossed the South Indochina Sea, seeking freedom and living out Patrick Henry's mantra of "Give me liberty or give me death." In Vietnam, the Vietnamese Communist government took power and turned the country upside down. Individuals and their possessions became property of the state.
When we lost the country in April 30th, 1975, I was captured and put in the communist prison camp for 2,296 days and nights. The prison that I see through the movies in the United States is heaven comparing to the hell that we went through. They taught us about how big, how heroic Ho Chi Minh was.
History was rewritten and the traditional culture was replaced by the socialist culture. All books, newspapers, magazines, films, and any intellectual material produced by South Vietnamese authors were seized and burned. Over 1 million of military and government officials of South Vietnam were put in prisons across the country. Thousands of writers, artists, and any influential people in the field of media were also imprisoned. Even in the U.S., many of the books that were written about this crucial piece of our nation's history, the Vietnam War, was filled with misguided information. Unfortunately, these books are used to teach students in U.S. schools. In the process, the 2 million Vietnamese Americans who risked their lives to seek freedom in the United States not only lost their history, but also their identity.
Leaving your country is like leaving part of you behind. And not everyone wants to do that, but it's like you have no choice. So a lot of families are being torn apart. Parents without kids, sister without brothers, husband without wife, and not to mention there's life lost to the seas too.
In 1975, I was lucky. I left the Vietnam by the C-141, the cargo airplane. You know, we wonder where we're going. We don't know. I mean, you know, they might bring us to the forest, might bring us to the desert, or they might bring us to the underdeveloped land.
By the time the airplane lift off, I saw a lot of flare all around the airplane. I thought that maybe it's an accident, there's some fire going on, and I was so scared to death. But they reassure us that they send all of these flare around to avoid these heat-seeking rockets from the VC. They are already pretty close to Saigon.
And then my grandpa's boat was with my aunt, or I never met her. She would have been my youngest aunt, but their ship was sunk on the way, and my grandpa floated at sea for like 3 or 4 days, and he was picked up by a merchant ship, and my aunt didn't make it.
The saddest memory that I still regret now is that I didn't hug my dad at the airport when I left the country because of the culture. And that would be the last time that I saw him, he passed away 2 years after I've been here, and I couldn't go back to the country.
My trip to fight for freedom is very expensive for that price. I lose all my family, my wife, 2 kids, my sister-in-law and my niece is in my family. But all of the people on the boat is my aunt, my uncle, my cousin. The captain, he lose the way to go. So that's why, you know, the wind took our boat go to the Thailand. And after they come to find out, look on kind of gold money, and after that they took on kind of women come to their boat, and they start to rape. You're thinking about 5 boats in there, you can calculate 15 guys on one boat. So 5 boats is a lot of guys. So they turn around, continue to rape. I think it's around about 3 hours to rape. After they rape in front of us, and I'm so mad, but we cannot do anything in there when we tie with a gun in there. So after they rape, it's about 3 hours, and they let them back, and they threw all away the food and water, everything, and after that they throw us back to our boat, and they use their boat to hit the boat for broken. They want to kill us. But in that time we have an untimed, so I tell the people, I yell at us right now, in the time we have to fight. Even we know it died, but we have to fight. We fight